We got Steven Gongora here. I didn't want to do the deck profile, so he's gonna do it.
The reason why we're gonna do it is because we just play the same deck. We're playing in the GOAT League right now, and this is week 2. And last week I got second, Fonzie got third. Another the same deck got fourth. Same thing, all top 4 warrior. It's like 9 to 15 people consistently. So we'll start off with all the good cards first. The warrior package that makes it warrior. 3 my boy Blade Knight. They are the misprints, because if you don't got the misprints, you just broke. The reason why they're the best cards because they stop flip effects, and they're 2000. Grandmaster, because you need him as a light target because you play BLS. It's basically Chaos Warrior, by the way. And this out's Kinetic Soldier. This out's Gravekeeper Spies in the main deck. Don Zulog, the boy. It's too many games, too many free wins, and a bunch of opening hands. 2 Mystic Swordsman level 2. This one hasn't came. The other one hasn't came in ML yet. You have to play 2 because you kind of there's multiple games where you're gonna need 2 of them. And then Exile Force, just outs everything. DD Warrior Lady, Poggers Warrior. None of the warriors are really pretty self-explanatory. This one's do kind of have to explain. You play because it's dark target and it kills Blade Knight. Super important. 2 Kaiku because it's Chaos Warrior and you just need more darks, and there's just a lot of Chaos decks. And being 1800 is pretty godly. It's an honorary warrior card. And then the other non-warrior cards, Zora Priest and Breaker the Magic Warrior. And this is a warrior breaker. You have to, even if you're playing one breaker, you have to make sure you have like even ratios of chaos monsters, because if not, you actually will not resolve BLS at all in none of your games. Like you could just tell, it's really important. If you try to, I don't play Chaos Sorcerer because there's not enough light and darks in the graveyard like Thunder Dragon. I don't play Sinister Serpent or Sengan because you just want monsters. You just want all big hitters. You still play Pot, Graceful, and Duo. Graceful's still good because you're just drawing 3 more powerful cards, and if you don't draw a card more powerful than whatever, you don't lose anything. I mean, you lose cards, but not really. Pre-mat, Snatch Still, Heavy, MST, 2 Nox, obvious. The reason why there's a deck, Rotas, because they're just too broken. I played 2 Book of Moon because I just wanted more defensive cards to save Kaikus, mainly. And obviously just a diverse card. Then Call It a Haunted, Mirror Force, 2 Sakuretsu, and 2 Compulse, 3 Dust Tornado, and 3 Judgment. The trap lineup's kind of weird. I don't play Ring or Torrential because you kill yourself too much with this deck when you Ring and Solemn Judgment. And Torrential, a lot of times you don't want to be Torrential on your board. If you're having a Torrential, that means you're not in control of the game state. And I'd rather just have something that protected me beforehand, which is Compulse, or to tempo overmount with Compulse, and just to protect monsters. And 3 Dust Tornado is because the only thing that your deck loses to is literally back row, and that's it. And that's the main deck. Pretty self-explanatory. Just summon a bunch of cards and attack. Side. Another Azure Priest for Goats, Chaos Turbo for all the Mystic Tomatoes and Shining Angels. Tribe for against the Mirror and Zombies. The 3rd Kaiku for pretty much all the Chaos decks. And then Chaos Sorcerer and 3 Kinetic Soldier. This is for the Mirror. These are for the Mirror. And against this is for Chaos and regular control, because the games last long enough to where you get enough in the graveyard. And then they rounded out 3 Kinetic Soldier just because they're super good against all the non-meta stuff, and they're really good against regular Goat. They stop Scapegoat tokens, and it's pretty good. You just want to stop Scapegoat tokens and a bunch of the other little guys. And there's a lot of game states where you can't just summon a monster and attack and hope that it goes through, because you're gonna get Sakuretsu or something. And to where this, you just summon it. They get their flip effect monster, which, I mean, obviously they're getting the flip effect monster, but the main thing is you don't want to use Tsukiyomi loot. So that's why it's good. And then the 3rd Sakuretsu for the Mirror. Then Torrential for when you know for sure you're playing against a beatdown deck and you're playing on the draw, so you want to have Torrential because that means there's so many more monsters than you are. Reckless Greed versus anytime I went first against any deck, I played Reckless Greed, and the reason for that is because if I'm going first, that means I'm in the driver's seat. Like, you have Solemn Judgments, solemn judgments and compulsives and dust tornadoes to always be the one who's like pushing in. So reckless greed is usually drawing 2 is enough to shut out the game. And then 2 bottomless. I didn't play trap dust shoots because I noticed a lot in the games they didn't put enough work in ever. Against chaos, it's just better if you just bottomless the actual threat so they don't come back. And they can just have more threats than one with trap dust shoot, or you just can't even resolve it. So I play bottomless, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Warriors.